If a debt collector contacts you, don't panic, don't argue, and never pay. First, you're going to ask them to prove it. That's called debt validation. Today, we're going to show you what it is, why it matters, how to use it with one simple letter. We're going to walk you step by step through my debt validation. You'll learn how the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and Metro 2 protect you, and how to stay calm with detachment and my Believe, Feel, Act pattern. We're going to turn stress into a simple plan. Now, before we get into this, please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so every time I upload great content just like this, and leave me a comment so we can connect. Now, let's get into it. Part 1, what is debt validation? Debt validation means you say, prove this debt. Show me it's mine, that you can collect it, and that the amount is correct. When a debt collector contacts you about a debt, you can send a debt validation letter. When they get your letter, they should pause collection until they send back real proof. Simple rule, no proof equals no payment. We use paper to fix a paper problem. We stay calm, we follow steps. Part 2, why debt validation matters. Well, mistakes happen. Debts get sold, names get mixed up, amounts change. Your letter catches errors fast, protects your credit. Wrong data can lower your score. So validation helps keep your report clean. It protects your money because you don't pay a penny until they prove the claim with documents. It protects your peace. A clear process beats fear. When you validate, you move from panic to power. Part 3, when to use debt validation. Well, you use it right away when a collector reaches out. According to the law, they've got 5 days to send you a letter after they reach out to you. So the best window is within the 30 days of getting their first notice. In that window, they should pause collection while they try to validate. If it's been longer than 30 days, you can still send the letter. It still helps you get facts and stop errors. Now here's a note. Validation is for collectors and debt buyers, not the original creditor. If a collector is contacting you, validation is always your move. Part 4, the laws that help you. First, we've got the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This protects you from unfair collection. After you request validation, they should stop collecting until they send proof. Then there's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. This protects your credit report. Anything reported must be accurate and complete. If it's wrong, you can dispute it with the credit bureaus. Then there's Metro 2. This is the reporting standard, the format companies use to report to the bureaus. If they report, the facts must be right. That's dates, balances, status. If they can't validate, they shouldn't report. If they do report, it must match verified facts. So together, the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act shields you during collection. The Fair Credit Reporting Act shields your credit file. And Metro 2 is the data format that should reflect all of the truth. Now, let's talk about the mindset. My detachment plus believe, act, feel. Detachment. This is not a life crisis. It's just a paper problem. So breathe. We follow steps. Believe, feel, act. Believe. I have rights and a plan. Feel. Calm and steady. Act. Send the letter. Track dates. Review proof. Follow up if needed. When you use this pattern, fear drops and results rise. So we're going to use a single letter that you need in order to deal with this. This is my debt validation letter. It tells the collector that you dispute the debt and you want real proof. It also tells them to stop calling and to contact you only by mail while they work on validation. So let's get into the letter, because there's some things that we've got to be on point with. So here's something that I want you to understand. This debt validation letter we use, we're going to go over it real quickly so you understand exactly what is going on. So at the beginning, you'll see we're listing that it is coming from you, and we're listing the company that you are sending it to. Then we are stating very, very clearly the date. This is certified mail, and we're listing the number that is there and the alleged account that they are saying belongs to you. Then we're going to go in and we're going to make sure this is accurate, as we're going to tell them exactly what we are looking to get from them. So I want you to recognize what is happening in this claim. This paragraph says you dispute the debt and you want validation under the law. You make it clear this is not a refusal to pay. We're not saying that we're not going to refuse to pay, but we're making it clear to them it's a good faith request for proper validation and documentation of the debt you allege I owe. That's what we are doing. We are simply saying that. Then we list the laws that support our rights under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and we list the laws that are there for the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We list the Truth in Lending, the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, as well as we are looking to see to it that everything we can get, we are setting the proper tone so that we get these things. So we're asking for a copy of the original signed agreement to the full chain of assignment. If the debt was transferred or sold, the name and address of the original creditor, a full itemization. You can see we're asking for various things. Until such validation is produced, cease all collection activity. So we're being very, very clear of what we do not want done and what we do want done. Again, here are the laws. In addition, we're demanding the following. And you can see we're asking for the Truth in Lending disclosures. We're also using this Gramm-Bliley Act that is going to help us understand our rights, as we could have had the right to opt out of certain reporting as well. So we want to make sure those disclosures are clear. Then we're asking for a declaration from them. You are required to complete the following details and return them with appropriate documentation, and you can see a list: the alleged name and address of the creditor, name on file of the alleged debtor, and you can see it goes on and on. Please include, and we're asking for certain things that we want to be included in this letter, and we are being very, very clear to them how we want this done. Then we conclude by saying failure to return this information within 30 days of receipt will constitute an admission that the alleged debt is unsubstantiated and must be deleted from my file. As you go on, you're giving your name. We don't want the signature, so do not put your signature there under no circumstance. And if you choose, you can get it notarized as well. So this is important. Now, if they report the debt without validation or report wrong information, they're breaking the rules. They're breaking the law. And therefore, you've got a right to get these things removed from your credit reports. This must match. Everything that you're asking for, everything that you are requesting of them, you have a legal right to ask for it, and it's going to put them in a position where they now either have to respond or they are going to be in absolute bad position as it relates to collecting. Now, many of these people just simply go away at this level because they understand what you're really doing. You're putting them in a box. You're setting them in a position where if they provide this information, they are giving you exactly what you need in order to defend this properly. And trust me, most of them don't want to give you all this data. Now, how do you send and track your letter that you are sending out to them? So here's something that's very, very important. You can get this notarized, but you mail it certified at the post office. Keep the receipt and tracking number. Start a small folder or envelope. Put a copy of your letter, the mailing receipt, and here's something you've got to set yourself up for, because it proves that they received your letter and starts your timeline. So paper plus dates is power for you. So we're going to do it certified. Now, what do you expect after you send it? Well, first thing, they should pause collection while they try to validate. They may send some documents. Read slowly. Check for your name and signature on a contract application, a full chain of title if the debt was sold, a clean itemized breakdown of the amount, matching dates and balances with your credit report. If the proof is strong and accurate, you decide your next move, settle, negotiate, or plan based on your goals. If the proof is missing or weak, remember, you asked for real validation. So stay calm and keep your records. So very quickly, some do's and don'ts. Do send the letter right away. Do use certified mail and keep copies. Do read every page they send and check the math and dates. Do keep all papers in one place. Now the don'ts. Don't pay a promise to pay before you see proof. Don't argue on the phone. Keep it in writing. Don't throw away mail or envelopes. Save every single thing. Listen, you are not your debt. You are a person with rights and a plan. Believe you can handle this. Feel calm because you have a simple process. Act by sending your debt validation letter and keeping good records. If you want help building a plan for credit and funding, click the link in the description to schedule your consult. We'll help you do this right away. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, leave me a comment. And if you need more clarity, I look forward to connecting with you. Be blessed.